Well, here's a gentleman that I've just met. I'm actually going the wrong way today, just back to Five Rise Locks, where I guess this gentleman's walked past there this morning. Your name, sir?
Bill.
Bill. So you do this quite often then?
Almost every day, yes, I live here.
Right, because with your poles and everything, it's, you know, I must admit I do like the poles. The problem is I'm right-handed and I also have my camera in my right hand when I'm doing something like this.
Yeah.
I can't use it with my left hand. I find I can use my right hand one okay, but you know, these are very similar to mine actually. I mean, I don't know, they're all much the same, but they help your knees, don't they, Bill? That's what most people
do.
get.
Yes. I also had open heart surgery 18 months ago, so
right.
I'm not as strong as I was, so they do help a little bit.
Yes. Oh well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm struggling a bit at the moment, you know, with being a bit stiff. I've had one or two problems with the veins in my leg, and I've been to the doctor, and he's put me on some tablets, which apparently they used to give to people. They used to give warfarin. It's like to thin the blood.
That's what I'm on.
Yeah, I've got that kind. Oh right, you're on warfarin. I can't remember the name of these tablets.
Yes.
But I was 72 last week, and all of a sudden I seem to be old.
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking good.
But well, thank you very much.
Keeping fit.
I've put a bit of weight on over the lockdown. You know,
yes.
it's surprising really how quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, I was down to 11 stone, wearing size 30 jeans.
Yeah.
But I put about a stone back on, and I'm just keen to get it off.
Well, I'm so lucky living here, really. You know, I've got these beautiful walks on the doorstep. So.
Yes. I've been very impressed with the Leeds-Liverpool Canal,
yes.
And the people are so friendly and everything.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting.
Yeah, well, I wish you all your best on your ventures, and talk to you again sometime, and I'll have a look online and see what you're up to.
Thank you very much, Bill. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Take care.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Good morning! It's Saturday, the 1st of August, and I hope you all remembered to say white rabbits. Particularly you people over in the States who, when I said that at the 1st of July, there was a bit of a reaction, and from Ross, my friend Ross. So, good morning, Ross. I hope you're well. It's funny actually, talking about people overseas, I was up this morning quite early, and I got a phone call from Australia at about, would have been about 8 o'clock, something like that. It was 5:30 in Australia. It was my friend Tony and Maureen, who I met when I was on the Coastal Path walk last year when I was in Kent, and they were in London, not far from where I was at Gravesend, where I was just about to cross over into Essex on the ferry from Gravesend to Tilbury, and I met them for a day in London. We had a lovely day, and I was telling them about the lockdown situation that I encountered yesterday, where in Bradford and Leeds they've closed down the gymnasium where I was parked up next to. It had been closed for 3 months, only reopened last Monday, and then it had to close again. So after all of that time they've been waiting, it's all closed again, which is really sad. You know, the businesses must have really badly suffered. So for those of you who, the astute ones, and I say that in the nicest possible way, you wonder why I'm walking in the wrong direction. Well, I've parked my van just up the road there from where I left on, what night was it? It would have been on Thursday evening. I didn't walk yesterday because it was far too hot, and I struggled when I got here to the Five Rise Locks. But the time I reached the top, I felt quite weak, and it wasn't a very humid day, and I was kind of wobbling around a little bit, and unfortunately I reached the cafe at about 2 minutes past 5, and it was closed, so I couldn't have a drink. Now I can see the cafe on the left hand side here. I'm going to point it out to you, and so I've just reached Five Rise Locks, and then my intention is, hopefully I'm going to see an arrowboat going down the locks to illustrate to you how the system works. And I'm going to sit here, have a cup of tea, and wait to find the next boat and hopefully film it down. And then I'm going to turn around and walk up the canal towards Skipton and to a place called Riddlesden, where there's a very nice pub there called the Marquis of Granby, and so we'll just see what happens. So this is where I finished last night, and I'm very pleased to say that the cafe is open. Well, it's 11 o'clock now, and I've been sat here drinking tea and chatting with lots of different people, and I've been waiting for a boat to come along. I've been to check with the sort of master of all of this, the main man, and he's not there, but he's left a phone number in case people come, and a boat is just coming round the corner, so here we are. We might be in business. Apparently there's a boat entered the system at the bottom, heading up, obviously, and I can just see it through this fence, but unfortunately they've cordoned it off, so I'm going to be not going to be able to get very near to the boats at all, but hopefully I might have a few kind words with the master of all of this and see if he'll allow me to film going down rather than up. But I'll show you little bits what I can show you of this boat going through the lock in the upward direction. So now they're on the second level going up, but I will be able to show you this much clearer later. Well, amongst all this excitement and trying to talk with the Claire, who is the manager of this situation, they've got all this red tape to stop people going within those limits so that they don't get in the way, which is perfectly understandable, and I'm told she's quite a reasonable woman, and I'm going to try and persuade her to let me do the filming of this boat over here from Whitby, and but it's started to rain quite heavily now, so probably I'm in the best place, but there is a boat coming up and we're just waiting to see what happens. Well, about 20 minutes has gone since I spoke to you last. Still no sign of the boat, but it's nearly here. The good thing is this little bit of rain is about to stop, so hopefully we should be okay, but please be patient. So that turned out to be something of an anticlimax really. I was hoping to have shown you far more than that, but they were saying that the red and white tape is for the COVID-19, where they didn't want people near them, which is understandable. It was in their workspace, and I would imagine it would also be quite irritating have mum and dad and the kids standing just a few feet away from you while you're opening these great big lock gates. So I've got complete sympathy with that. Nothing I can do about it. I'm just disappointed I couldn't show you more of the workings of it rather than try and describe it without a boat being there. But there might be an opportunity on the way back when I travel back from Liverpool back to Grimsby. I might come this way and see if I can do a little bit better job. Things might be quite different by then, so let's just keep our fingers crossed. So all I need to do now is just walk up to Riddlesden to a place called the Marquis of Granby, which is a fantastic pub, and I'll see about whether I'm going to stay there tonight. So here we go. So this is Eddie, and he's the sign writer, and I've just shown you the back of his van, and that's an absolute work of art. It's a very good advertisement. So do you get? Is this your main sort of, or is this just one of many jobs?
But no, this it's basically mainly canal boats, but I also do traction engines as well.
Oh right.
I get down into Lincolnshire and the Midlands doing traction engines. In fact, all over the north really.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so but the canal boat is the main thing really during the summer months. And then during the winter months, around about November time, the golf clubs start asking me to go and update their honours boards because they've done all the cups during the summer.
Course, yes.
Their annual dinners are normally in the winter over Christmas time into the new year.
Yes.
So then I go and put the names on so that there's plenty of people can see the names up on the boards for the annual dinners. Good. So then after I've done that, then there's normal pub signs as well, which I do, and classic and vintage vehicles.
Yes.
And then it comes back around to the canal boats back in March and April.
That's
so
fantastic.
That's how it normally runs.
What a wonderful job, and you're your own man doing it in your own
lovely
time.
job, and lovely scenery, having the swans around you, looking at you and watching you.
Are you a local man, Eddie?
I live in Gargrave.
Gargrave,
which is obviously you'll be going through on your walk.
Well, I went on a narrowboat. We hired a narrowboat in 2017, and we got to Gargrave, and our first stop from it was the second stop actually from Skipton.
Yeah.
You get through the first lock, and then there's 3 locks in Gargrave.
There is.
But, I was there the other day. It all seemed very quiet.
Well, yes. I mean, obviously it hasn't helped with all this lockdown and everything,
right.
and people cancelling the canal boat holidays and stuff. But there is a few about.
Yes.
And
I noticed there's a pub. The pub's burnt down. The Black Swan. What happened there?
It's called the Swan. The Swan. The landlord set fire to it.
Did he?
He did, yeah. And don't know exactly why he set fire to it at the moment, but no doubt it'll come out in time.
Job.
Well, it's owned by the brewery.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, there's a story then.
Yeah.
Wow.
So obviously it's. He's in hospital at the moment.
I went in there again back in 2017. There's absolutely no atmosphere whatsoever.
Right.
I had one pint and I was out.
It did change owners quite a lot.
Yes.
And the owners that the people that were actually looking after it this time, was really turning it round.
Yeah.
People were really shouting about the food and everything, and it was a really good place to go. And obviously this has gone and happened, so.
That changed everything.
Yeah. And now, not only has it partly burnt down, but they're now scaffolding up on the building, which is partly blocking the A65, the main route to the Lake District. Yesterday there was a queue of traffic right way back to Thorlby, which is about 3 miles.
Yes.
All because of the scaffolding blocking half the road up, so the traffic lights up. So, it's a bit of a nightmare, really.
Because it was bad enough getting through there without all that, wasn't it?
It was bad enough.
Because I remember at Thorlby, it used to tail back to the first lock. At peak period.
Yeah.
And I remember taking a shot where the narrowboat was going up and it blocked a lorry out. Do you understand what I mean? Because you come quite a long way up with the narrowboat there. And you know, it's quite a drop, isn't it?
Yeah, it is quite a drop.
Anyway, I'll let you get on, Eddie. Nice to speak to you.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
Now, the thing to tell you about this stretch of canal is there are no locks for 17.5 miles, and that takes you all the way through Skipton to the other side, near to a place called Gargrave. So there are swing bridges, but most of these are sort of automatic swing bridges, but nevertheless they can be a bit troublesome, and we'll be seeing one or two of those on the way along. It's 1:45 now, and I can't be far off the Marquis of Granby, and I think that this is Riddlesden. I do remember passing here, but I don't remember exactly where I am, if you understand. That was 3 years ago, and when I get to the pub I'm going to show you one or two excerpts from that when my wife Trish and I and my father-in-law Harry called in at the Marquis of Granby, and it was quite a night actually. It was good, the food was good and everything else, and I know it could have changed hands by now. But it's going well today. I know we had that bit of a shower this morning which wasn't forecast. It was due to rain between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and that's it for the day, but it didn't happen that way, as it often doesn't. But now we've got a glorious afternoon, which is really nice. Yesterday I took all day yesterday off, because when I got to Five Rise Locks on Thursday evening, I've got to admit I was absolutely shattered, and it wasn't particularly sunny, but the humidity was really heavy and I felt quite exhausted, and by the time I walked up to the top of the locks my legs were shaking. I felt quite uneasy on my feet, and so I thought, right, okay. And with the news, the big news was that West Yorkshire, you know, Leeds and Bradford was in lockdown, and so I thought I'd be best having a day off, first of all to recover, but also to sort of stay safe for the day and to plan any alternative plans there and then. But I've decided to carry on, and I think I'm as safe out here as I am sitting in a car park in a van at the moment, but we'll see how things materialise. There's not so many people around today, it is noticeable, and it's quite surprising being a Saturday as well. But it could all change, and maybe we might see a few more people tomorrow. If for any reason I can't stay on the car park at Riddlesden tonight, I'm going to drive back into Skipton and park up there and go and have a night out, because I know one or two of the people in the pubs and stuff like that, or I did, and the landlords and all that sort of business, so I look forward to that. And the other good thing about it, I went to Morrison's this morning and bought a breakfast, and it was £5.45, and I'm not kidding you, it was almost too big to eat. 3 sausages, 3 eggs, 3 fried bread, mushrooms, black pudding, you name it. It was like a real belly buster. Very, very good value for money, and that's going to set me up all day. So all I need to do when I get to the Marquis of Granby is just have a cup of tea really, and just have a probably 10-15 minute breather, and then I'm going to be driving back, get in the bus, which is just around the corner, back to Five Rise Locks and retrieve the van, and then make the decision where I'm going to go. So it's all go, isn't it? But it's good. I was disappointed I couldn't get the footage I wanted this morning, and I know I'm repeating myself, but it's just a shame that, you know, even things like watching the boats going through the lock, there's red and white tape preventing you doing that, and I can't see what difference it makes, to be honest. And the excuse that it's to give the workers protection, well, surely the way things are, where you need to have masks on, why don't they say you're alright but you put your mask on and you can get close to the boats? But they make the rules, not me, and I was a bit disappointed really, but I think I've got enough footage of that to be able to show you, and you're an intelligent bunch of people. You don't need to be told how a lock works, even though it would have been very nice to show you the Five Rise locks in action. So I'm gagging for a cup of tea. I'll see you later.
Jim, we've just done Leeds Liverpool Canal bike ride.
So this is Craig, and you were just telling me you're a cyclist.
I'm a cyclist, yes.
Fill me in with the details.
We've been doing the Leeds-Liverpool Canal bike ride.
Yes.
And yesterday we did 51 miles from home, from Preston
Yes.
to Kelbrook,
Yes.
near Barnhalswick.
Right.
And then today we started off from Barnhalswick and we've done about 26 miles to this point. We've got another, well actually we're not going all the way to Leeds because Emma is from Yorkshire.
Ah, Emma. Whereabouts, Emma? Yeadon. Oh, well, that's Leeds, more or less, isn't it? Near the airport.
Yeah. So we've got about another 11 miles to go.
That's great. Excellent. Well done. Have you enjoyed it?
Alison hasn't always enjoyed it. Alison, go on, do a mimic of your outburst yesterday.
You hated it?
Yesterday she hated it, yeah.
Oh,
It was
blimey.
not yesterday, though.
It was hard work
I
yesterday.
spat my dummy out yesterday.
What about the part like from Barnhalswick coming round towards Gargrave? It's really sort of desolate, isn't it? And twisty bendy.
It was, yeah, and some of it's not tarmacked. Well,
Yeah.
obviously a lot of it's not tarmacked, but some
Yeah.
of it is just grass and mud.
Yeah.
But it was all right, yeah.
Yeah.
we enjoyed it, yeah.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Yeah, having got here to the Marquis of Granby, I've just had a nice cup of tea and sat around for a while, and then went down to the bus stop to get a bus back to Five Rise Locks, and they've withdrawn all the buses for a period, and I've got to go back to the bus stop in an hour when there should be a bus that will take me up there. I mean, I could walk; it's not that far, but I don't really feel like doing that if I don't really need to. And then I'm going to come and stay here on the car park tonight, or alternatively, I'm going to ride into Skipton because I need to do a bit of shopping, and I might possibly stay there. I haven't made a definite decision, but it's been a quiet day. I can't believe it, a Saturday, and the contrast between today and say last Thursday as an example, where it was absolutely buzzing. And I didn't tell you that I had yesterday off because it got up to into the mid 70s yesterday, and I was feeling a bit a bit weak by the time I reached Five Rise Locks, and my legs were really hurting for some reason, and the only thing I can think of is that I got a bit dehydrated and it was very, very humid, and so I didn't want to take any chances, and just had a nice day off editing and just relaxing, sleeping and all that kind of stuff. I feel so much better today, and my legs feel so much better today, so I'm happy about that. Lovely. Very nice to meet you all. So things are happening fast here. I've come to a place called The Venue, met an absolutely wonderful family from Blackburn. What fantastic people, and I'm going to go meet them when I go over to Blackburn, when I eventually walk through that way. What lovely, lovely, charming people. A couple who were the age of my daughter Sam, 46, and their daughters and friends, and they're staying on a campsite at Eshton Road Lock at Gargrave, and recommended it, so I'm going to go over there tomorrow and see about booking on, because they say they've got vacancies and it's an absolutely wonderful place. It's the right price and everything, so I'm going to do that. But in between time I've decided to have a few beers. I'm going to watch the FA Cup final, and then I'm going to go for a walk around the town and meet some old friends with a bit of luck. So it's all worked out very nicely today, and the weather now is absolutely perfect. Oh, right, yeah. So this is the narrow boat, and we met some friends that we met in Riddlesden when we were coming down the canal in 2017, and it was Martin and Linda, and they were regulars here, and they'll probably notice that there's one or two really nice people. Danny, just say hello to Linda and Martin.
Hi, Linda Martin. You're right.
That's lovely. Yeah, can you put salt and vinegar on mine as well, please? I've just got to show you this. This is Skipton fish and chips from Busy Lizzie. £8. Just look at that. Just look at that piece of fish. Look at the size of my hand and look at the size of that piece of fish.